Maybe somewhere in the YouTube verse, this information's out there, but police control. What they do is they do these random, like really random, and most of the time they're at night. It actually happened to me and I'm still shook on the experience. And they were just like, you have direct access, we can't monitor that, so you just have to pay it. And I was like, okay. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today we're going to be talking about 6 things no one tells you about before moving abroad to Germany. I wish that someone out there on YouTube told me these details. I have actually looked on YouTube and some of these things I have not heard before. Before we actually jump into the video, please do subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. It really helps me out and just shows me that you support my channel. I will be leaving all of my links in my description box. This video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. If you have a specific skill you're trying to learn, Skillshare is the perfect place to start. From photography and illustration to graphic design, freelancing, and more, you can find classes that will match your goals and interests. Right now, I'm taking the class Romanticizing Your Life, a beginner's guide to creating vlogs for YouTube, and this is by 𝗂𝗂𝘁'𝘀𝗆, a content creator. Her class gives you basic structures and components of a vlog, what equipment you need, how to find inspiration, what you can do in post-production, and how to plan your vlogs, which is super substantial for me because I do make a lot of vlogs here on YouTube and I am really enjoying her class. Skillshare is ad-free so you can stay in the zone while you're exploring. They launch new premium classes each week and the entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. So the first 1,000 people to use my link or code will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. All of the details will be linked in my description box below. Okay, so I have my notebook here just so that I can stay on point with the 6 items. I don't want to ramble, but I feel like I'm gonna ramble. It's okay. The first thing that I want to tell you guys that I wish that someone actually told me about before moving abroad to Germany, and I've actually not heard it from any other YouTuber, maybe somewhere in the YouTube verse, this information's out there, but in the general scope of when I searched, I did not find this information. So the first thing is going to be police control. And the reason why this is the first on my list is because it actually happened to me a few weeks ago and I'm still shook. If you guys follow me, you should already know that I am originally from New York and we all know the situation with, you know, police in America. And if you're from America, you know how police kind of, you know, patrol basically. So in the US generally, or I'll rather speak for New York, in New York, how police patrols is that you, for example, on the highway, you have state troopers and they're like hiding out in the bush. They're hiding out like under rocks, under highway holes. They are always hiding out and just waiting for you. And you can also see the police, you know, just patrolling around, parked in parking lots and just watching and doing what police do. In Germany, this is completely different. It seems that Germany, they have this general trust thing. I'm not sure if that plays into why there's 0 police patrolling. For example, on the highways in Germany, you're not gonna see a police car staked out on the highway. They're not gonna be staking out on the highway. There's like 0 police on the highway. You just won't see it. And in my personal experience driving in Germany, I don't really see police cars stationed, parked, patrolling, sitting in towns or anything like that. But aside from that, the biggest thing that shook me is because since they don't do those highway checks, I'm just like, okay, they just don't check anybody ever. No, they do check. What they do is they do these random, like really random, and most of the time they're at night. They will stop all incoming traffic and they will check car by car. They will ask you a few questions. If they get a little vibe from you, they'll be like, okay, can you go over there? And they'll pull you aside and then you will have to do an alcohol test or walk in a line or whatever. I don't know what they do outside of that when they pull you to the side from that line. And this happened to me a few weeks ago. I dropped my boyfriend off at the train station and I was coming back into town, and this way into town was kind of like the best way into town, so most cars will take this way into town. For some reason there was a lot of traffic and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Come to get a little bit closer and you can see there's a lot of police set up and they're doing their checkpoint. So they're checking every single car, they're asking them questions, where are you coming from, where are you going? When it was my turn, they asked me the exact same question. He could tell from my German that I'm not German, obviously, and then he's just like, oh, so you're American, like what are you doing here, blah blah blah, and just trying to get a vibe from you, trying to see if you're drunk or anything like that. And they let me through right away, but some other cars, they had to go to another side and get, you know, further checked. Maybe they had too much alcohol. I was shook. I was like, this is so random. I was like in pajamas. I was not prepared for this because I had never thought in Germany they did checks anyways. So yeah, just be aware of that. Following in the direction of Germans having this really big trust with their citizens is the bus and train tickets and the fact that no one checks. So I have a car now. I don't take the train anymore. I used to take the train, the bus, the tram, everything when I first came to Germany for like 2 years potentially. Yeah, 2 years I did that. First of all, transportation in Germany, in my opinion, sucks. I hate public transportation, but that's not the point. The point is when I was on public transportation, they don't check tickets. So I would just walk on the bus and sit down. The bus driver is not looking at you. Some of them do though. Bus drivers don't care about you. They just want you to get on and go. And I don't think it's their job really to be checking everybody because it slows down the process of getting people inside of the bus. So he or she does not check. The bus and the trains, they do these random checks. You never know when the ticket checker is gonna come, which makes it even worse. So you just have to make sure you buy all of your tickets. The third thing that I want to mention is the rush at the grocery store. I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I feel like it was swept under the rug, so I'm gonna mention it again. The race at the grocery store, the rush, the high energy, the high pace, it's a lot. If you come from the States, if you come from America, this is going to be something that's going to shock you. That's gonna potentially give you anxiety, because when I say you need to move at the speed of light, get your groceries in your grocery bag, the people behind you, the lady probably just scanned your second item, they're already looking annoyed at you. And I feel like I also got into this mob mentality where I'm looking at the person and I'm just like, hurry up, like why are you taking so long? And it's not right, because the checkout lane that you have, even to pack your stuff, it's like this big. So you have 100 euros worth of groceries and the space to pack is like this big, and you have to pack yourself and you have to pack quickly. So just be aware of that. Other people have said that the cashiers are rushing and moving quickly because they have a quota to meet or something like that. I don't remember what exactly they were saying, but I don't know. I feel on the customer satisfaction side of things, that should not be a thing. I think that should be eliminated. They need to create a longer checkout exit so that people have some peace. Like grocery shopping, I feel like should not be a stressful thing in general. I mean, you have to pay for all this stuff anyways. Like it should be a relaxing experience, and it really isn't. It's a high-paced experience. You just have to be ready for it. So the fourth thing that I want to mention is the obligation of everybody living in Germany to pay TV tax. And now I'm not sure if this is excluding, for example, refugees and excluding people who are getting money from the government. That I'm not certain about, but I know that everyone who has a regular salary, everyone who's getting paid, everyone who has a job, no matter what, you have to pay this TV tax. And the TV tax basically is if you have connection to internet, you have to pay internet. And I remember calling them once and I was just like, I don't even use cable. Like I don't watch cable. That's not my thing. I'm just using internet to watch apps through Netflix, through YouTube, through Hulu, for example, but I'm not using it to watch German TV, so why do I have to pay this tax? And they were just like, you have direct access to, you know, internet, and we don't know if you're gonna watch it or not watch it. We can't monitor that, so you just have to pay it. And I was like, okay. So the fifth thing is similar to number 4. That is going to be the church tax. This is something that I think many people don't know about. When you come to Germany, you have to either declare that you are in the church, so yeah, you have to declare you're in the church, or you're gonna declare that you're not in the church. And so if you come here and you're like, oh yeah, I go to church, I have that type of religion, I will say that I'm in the church. don't do that, because you will then have to pay a church tax, and it's quite a substantial amount of money if you look at it on your yearly salary. It comes directly out of your salary. And yeah, I did not sign up to pay this church tax. And although I am saving this money, this means that I cannot get married in Germany in a church unless my partner is in the church as well. So that is the catch. It's kind of like snatching you by the neck. So the last thing that I want to mention is something that I just found about this spring, and I've been living here for quite some time and I never heard about this. It's the 1st of May. It's called 𝗵𝗁𝗰, and this basically means May, hiking, walking through the forest type of thing. And on the 1st of May, Germans take a beer cart, or like a big cart, they fill it with games and beer, and you have a big group of people and you walk through the forest for hours. Literally, you walk through the forest for hours carrying this cart filled with alcohol, and you make pit stops, you drink, you play games, and you go from fest to fest. And this means from like festival to festival, from party to party, because some towns they throw the 1st of May party or festival, and in the towns you have little stands and there's food and there's drinks. I think my boyfriend this year, he was walking around 6 to 7 hours. And yeah, we've reached the end of the video. I really hope that these 6 things were interesting, or maybe something new that you did not know before. And I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section below. I as well, of course, will be leaving all of my socials again in my description box.